Hello, everyone. This is Miss Bryanna, one of the teachers in the nursery at Church by the Sea, and welcome to our Sunday Zoom lesson. It's so good to see everybody here with us today.
Good morning. This is Miss Suzi, one of the teachers, Church by the Sea, and I'm happy to be with you all today for our Sunday lesson.
Everybody, let's join together for our welcome song.
Hello, everybody.
So glad
So glad to see you.
Hello,
Everybody. So glad to see you. Hello to Danilo. So glad to see you.
Hello to Ariela. So glad to see you.
Hello to Azai. So glad to see you.
Hello to Hugh. So glad to see you.
Hello to Henry, so glad to see you.
Hello to Pete, so glad to see you.
Hello to Leonardo, so glad to see you.
Hello to Miss Suzi, so glad to see you.
Hello to Miss Bryanna, so glad to see you.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome and hello to everyone else that we did not mention who has joined us today. Miss Suzi is going to read to us our story today called David Trusts in God.
Okay, good morning again. Yes, we are going to get our ears and our hearts ready to hear what God has for us today. Here is the story. David trusts in God. Long ago, in a land far away, there lived a boy named David. David was in charge of looking after the family sheep. Every day, he would help the sheep find grass and fresh water. Sometimes, he had to use his slingshot to protect them from wild animals. While he was out with the sheep, David often felt God close beside him. God was with David. God is with us. One day, David's father came to him and said, I want you to leave the sheep and take food to your brothers who are helping the king to fight in a war. David felt very important. It would be a long journey. He would have to be very careful, but he knew that God would be with him. God was with David. God is with us. Just as David arrived and saw his brothers, a huge man named Goliath came lumbering down the hill. David had never seen anyone so big. When Goliath walked, his footsteps sounded like thunder. Goliath shouted, Send somebody to fight me. And the king's soldiers ran to hide. But David did not. If no one will stop Goliath, then I will, he said. God was with David. God is with us. David's brothers said, No, you are too young. You are not strong enough. King Saul said, No, you are just a shepherd boy. You are not strong enough. But David said, I can fight lions and bears to protect my sheep. God will help me to stop Goliath. God was with David. God is with us. King Saul wanted to give David his sword and his armor, but David said, No, those things are too heavy. I'll use my slingshot. So David found some stones and walked toward Goliath. His brothers watched from the top of the hill. You can do it, David, they shouted. God was with David. God is with us. When Goliath saw David with his slingshot and the stones, he laughed and laughed. But David said quietly, My strength comes from God. I am not afraid of you. Then David put a stone in the sling and swung it around and around. When he let it go, the stone flew through the air and hit Goliath on the forehead. Goliath fell to the ground. Everyone was surprised, but not David. God was with David. God is with us. So that is all the story for today. And I just would like to remind you to keep in mind to always remember that you are not alone. We are not alone. God is with us wherever we go.
Thank you, Miss Susie, for the story. Now, let's put our little hands together for the closing prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for always being with us and for guiding us. As we continue to move through uncertain times, you always remind us of your certainty. Thank you for everything you do for us. We are grateful. Amen.
Amen.
And thank you, everybody, for being with us for today. And we cannot wait to see you guys again.
Thank you for joining us for our Sunday lesson. May you have a blessed week. May God be with you all. We love you. Bye, Miss Bryanna.
Bye, Miss Susie.
Yesterday was Juneteenth, a celebration of the day in 1865 when word from Abraham Lincoln's signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, which had been signed 2 years prior, finally made its way to Texas. Just this week, it's been made a national holiday, Juneteenth. Our denomination, the United Church of Christ, has a proud history of being at the forefront of social change. We took an early stand against slavery and worked actively for its abolition. We fought for civil rights. We ordained female clergy, African American clergy, and openly gay clergy long before other denominations. We stood with farm workers in their struggle for dignified treatment. Our children grow up singing African American spirituals that are woven into our worship tradition, like "This Little Light of Mine," "Go Tell It on the Mountain," "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," and of course, "Amazing Grace." Juneteenth offers the opportunity for children to know how important it was for people who have been treated so badly for so long to begin to experience a whole new way of life and be truly free. Now, that's always something to celebrate. Wishing your families many blessings on this historic Juneteenth. From Church by the Sea.